Hello, I'm David Walliams, and I'm coming to Hobart on the 8th.
I would have loved to have seen you go all the way to the final. I have some rather exciting news. I've written a new book.
David Walliams has taken legal action against Britain's Got Talent after a leaked transcript surfaced, sparking major controversy. The beloved judge, known for his wit and memorable presence on the show, is now in a legal battle with the program that helped make him a household name. How did it get to this? Stay tuned and subscribe as we delve into the shocking allegation of this lawsuit. Britain's Got Talent is a popular talent show that has given viewers many unforgettable moments over the years. One of the most talked about events in the show's history was the departure of David Walliams, who was one of the judges for a long time. David joined other well-known judges like Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, and Alicia Dixon, and together they formed a team that entertained audiences for over 10 years. However, everything changed in 2022 when David left the show in a very dramatic way. His exit was surrounded by a lot of drama, and it shocked many fans who had grown to love his humor and personality on the panel. The next year, former Strictly Come Dancing star Bruno Tonioli was announced as David's replacement, which added more excitement to the show's lineup. David's departure was not just a simple goodbye. There was a lot of speculation and discussion about why he left. Many people wondered if he chose to leave or if something else happened. Some reports suggested that David claimed he was forced out of his favorite show. This statement led to even more curiosity and gossip among fans and the media. People were eager to know what really happened behind the scenes and why such a beloved judge had to leave. David Walliams' exit from Britain's Got Talent started with a serious issue when some of his private conversations were made public. In November 2022, it was revealed that David had made unkind and disrespectful comments about some contestants who were auditioning for the show. These comments were not meant to be heard by anyone outside of the production team, but they were leaked, which caused a lot of trouble for David. The leaked audio transcripts showed that David used very harsh language. For example, he called one hopeful contestant a name, which is a very rude and insulting word. He also made a disrespectful comment about another contestant, saying, "She thinks you want to engage in intimate acts, but you don't." These kinds of remarks were not only offensive, but also showed a lack of respect for the people who were trying to perform and impress the judges on the show. When these comments became public, it created a big reaction. A spokesperson for Thames, the production company behind Britain's Got Talent, stated that David's language was inappropriate. They made it clear that such comments did not meet the standards expected from the judges and everyone involved in the show. The spokesperson also mentioned that those involved had been reminded of their responsibilities. This means that they were told to be more careful and professional in the future. This situation put David in a difficult position. As a judge, he was expected to support and encourage contestants, not put them down or speak to them disrespectfully. The leaked comments made it hard for David to continue as a judge on the show. It raised questions about his behavior and whether he could still be a good representative for the program. After the negative comments about contestants were made public, David Walliams apologized for his words. He explained that these conversations were supposed to be private and were not meant to be heard by anyone outside of the people involved. David compared them to casual chats that friends have with each other, which are often just between friends and should stay private. He expressed his regret by saying, "Nevertheless, I am sorry." This was his way of acknowledging that he shouldn't have used such harsh language, even if he didn't mean for anyone to hear it. Even though David did not officially announce that he was leaving Britain's Got Talent, news started to spread that he was planning to quit the show. People were curious about what would happen next, and soon, in January 2023, it was confirmed that David had indeed left the BGT team. Along with this announcement, the show introduced his replacement, which meant that a new judge would be taking his place. However, David's exit did not end the problems. After leaving the show, he took further action by suing the makers of Britain's Got Talent, known as Fremantle. He filed a lawsuit in the High Court, which is a serious legal step. In this lawsuit, David claimed that Fremantle had broken data protection laws. He argued that they had wrongly recorded, transcribed, and retained his private conversations for a whole decade. This means he accused them of listening in on his chats and keeping records of those conversations without his permission for many years. David's legal move showed that he felt very strongly about the issue of privacy. He believed that it was not right for the production company to keep such private information and share it without his consent. By taking this step, David was not only trying to clear his name, but also to make a statement about how important it is for people to respect privacy, especially for those in the public eye. After David Walliams left Britain's Got Talent, he went through a really tough time. In some legal papers he filed, he shared that he was struggling with very dark thoughts. These thoughts were about self-harm, which means he was feeling so low that he thought about hurting himself. This was a serious issue and showed just how deeply the situation affected him emotionally. David's feelings were not just about losing his job, but also about how people reacted to the leaks of his private conversations. He felt overwhelmed by everything that happened, which led to these troubling thoughts. In response to David's situation, Fremantle, the company that produces Britain's Got Talent, issued a statement through a spokesperson in October 2023. They expressed their surprise and sadness about the legal action David had taken against them. The spokesperson mentioned that they had a long and productive relationship with David, meaning they had worked together well for many years before this incident. They did not expect things to end up in a legal dispute. The spokesperson also stated that Fremantle was open to talking with David to find a way to resolve the matter peacefully. They wanted to have a dialogue, which means they were willing to communicate and discuss the issues with him. However, they also mentioned that while they were willing to talk, they would look into the allegations David made against them. This means they plan to investigate what he said and prepare to defend themselves if needed. Since stepping down from Britain's Got Talent, David's career has not been the same. David also said he feels he has lost the ability to be funny. For a comedian like him, who has always made people laugh, losing his sense of humor was especially painful. The documents revealed that, since he left ITV, he has only had one new work opportunity. This lack of work has likely made his struggles even harder because his career was always an important part of his life. Without new projects, David may have felt like he was losing his place in the entertainment world, which can be a big blow to anyone's confidence. According to a report seen by The Sun last year, David's psychiatrist, who has been treating him for many years, shared that David's depression was now possibly worse than ever before. The psychiatrist explained that the leaked audio from Britain's Got Talent had a profound, severe, and, at times, very worrying effect on David's mental health. Profound means it affected him in a very deep and serious way, and severe means it was extreme. These words show that David's mental health took a hard hit because of the leak. The leak not only hurt David's career, but also his well-being. Going through these emotions publicly made it even harder, as he was not only dealing with personal pain, but also facing the media and public opinion. In the 21-page legal document related to David Walliams' lawsuit, his lawyers made some important claims about what happened during his time as a judge on Britain's Got Talent. According to the document, Walliams was unaware that his microphone was kept on and recording him the entire day during filming. This included breaks, private moments, and times when he wasn't performing for the camera. Walliams' lawyers explained that he didn't know this was happening, and he felt that his privacy was violated. The document also stated that Walliams is now very anxious and uncomfortable about going into a studio. He worries that anything he says might be recorded without his permission and possibly shared with the public, just like it happened before. This fear has had a big impact on him, making it hard for him to relax and be himself when he's working. Because of this experience, his lawyers say Walliams has lost his ability to be spontaneous and edgy, being able to act or speak without having to plan everything out, which is important for comedians who need to react in the moment to make people laugh. Pushing boundaries and being bold is also an important part of David's comedic style. His lawyers argued that, with this fear hanging over him, Walliams no longer feels free to express himself fully and can't be as funny as he used to be. This situation has affected his career and his confidence in himself as a comedian. Knowing that private things he says could be recorded and leaked has made him much more cautious. This is challenging for someone who has built a career around humor and making people laugh by being bold and open. According to the legal papers shared by The Sun, David Walliams has been going through a very hard time since he left Britain's Got Talent. His lawyers explained that not being able to perform in his usual, funny way has caused him a lot of distress. Walliams is known for being bold, funny, and sometimes a bit cheeky, which people expect from him. But because of his worries about being recorded, he no longer feels able to act in his usual style. This has made him feel like he's lost an important part of who he is, both as a person and as a performer. Being funny and entertaining people is something he's done for years, and it has shaped his identity. Losing that freedom to be himself on stage or on camera has caused him a lot of emotional pain. The papers also revealed that Walliams has lost a lot of money since stepping away from the show. In 2022, he made around £3.7 million, but in the first 5 months of 2023, he earned only over £100,000. This is a big drop in his income, which shows that his career has been affected financially as well. Without the steady income from Britain's Got Talent and with fewer work opportunities, his earnings have gone down drastically. This kind of financial change can be very challenging, especially for someone who is used to a successful career and a stable income. So, for Walliams, the challenges have not only been emotional, but financial as well. Losing both his sense of identity and a large part of his income has been very difficult, and his lawyers highlighted this to show the serious impact these events have had on his life. Surprisingly, on November 27th, it was announced that David Walliams and Fremantle, the company behind Britain's Got Talent, had reached a settlement. This means that they came to an agreement to resolve their legal dispute. The details of the settlement were not shared with the public, which is why it's called an undisclosed settlement. This usually means that both sides decided not to tell anyone exactly what was agreed upon. Settlements like this are common in legal cases, especially when both sides want to avoid a long court battle. By reaching a settlement, Walliams and Fremantle were able to end the conflict without going through more legal steps, which could have taken a lot of time and money. Even though the exact details aren't public, this settlement likely means that both Walliams and Fremantle were willing to compromise to some extent. In a message shared with PA News, Fremantle, the company behind Britain's Got Talent, expressed their happiness that they were able to settle the disagreement with David Walliams in a friendly way. Fremantle expressed their satisfaction at reaching a peaceful and agreeable resolution to the dispute with David Walliams. This indicated that they were glad to have settled the matter in a way that was acceptable to both sides. Fremantle also apologized to David for the pain caused by the release of his private conversations. Fremantle expressed sincere regret that David's private conversations, recorded during his time as a judge on Britain's Got Talent, had been made public, acknowledging the significant distress this caused him. By saying this, they showed regret for what happened and acknowledged the upset it caused him. The company explained that they are now looking at how they work to make sure that private moments are respected. Fremantle stated that they had reviewed their production practices on Britain's Got Talent to ensure these practices fully respect the expectations of their talent while also meeting the show's requirements. This means they are working on improving how they handle things on set, so similar issues don't happen again. Fremantle also took the time to show their appreciation for David's role on Britain's Got Talent. They said they had enjoyed a good relationship with him for many years and that he had been a very important part of the show's success. Fremantle expressed gratitude to David for his significant contributions to the Britain's Got Talent * family and the show's lasting success. They also shared hopes of having opportunities to work with him again in the future. This shows that, despite the conflict, Fremantle still values David and would be open to working with him again if the opportunity arises. David Walliams had originally been asking for a large amount of money in his lawsuit against Fremantle, £10 million. However, according to the Daily Mail, the amount he received was much less than that. This is because he and Fremantle eventually agreed to settle for a smaller sum, which was reportedly way under what he was hoping for. The reason for the lower settlement had to do with how the case developed. Fremantle, the company behind Britain's Got Talent, admitted that their security processes had failed. They accepted that their procedures were not strong enough, which allowed David's private comments to be leaked to the media. This acknowledgement of their mistakes was important in reaching a settlement. However, sources said that some of David's other claims in the lawsuit did not hold up as strongly. This meant he could not push for the larger sum he wanted. According to insiders, the final settlement amount was a seven-figure sum, likely around £1 million. This amount was similar to the yearly pay David used to receive from Britain's Got Talent. Though it was far less than the £10 million he first aimed for, this one-year salary figure was what both sides ultimately agreed on. What do you think of David's legal issues with Fremantle? Share your thoughts below. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Click the next video showing on your screen.